Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the 4 reasons why you likely feel lazy. Now, in last month's video, we did all about rest. I had 3 videos all about rest. And in the first video, I went to debunk the myth that rest isn't lazy. And what I came to the conclusion is that rest actually is lazy based on the definition of lazy, but that lazy isn't a bad thing. Now, it doesn't mean that we still don't feel lazy, and unattaching a word from its negative or positive connotation in like the grand scheme of society is not something I'm here to attempt to do. So I know that you likely still feel lazy as a bad thing on a regular basis. And so I'm not trying to like shift your mind there. What I am going to go through is talk about why you're feeling lazy and the 4 biggest drivers behind your laziness. Because my guess is that you don't want to feel that way. You don't want to feel lazy, and that laziness is mostly being driven by a sense of overwhelm. And so again, I believe that there are really 4 drivers behind that feeling: burnout, stress, decision fatigue, and fear. And that likely one or maybe all of those things are causing you to feel lazy / overwhelmed. So we're gonna go through each one at a time and how that is impacting your feeling laziness, and then what we can do to get out of that. What are some small steps that we can take to unwind that impact of our feeling of laziness or overwhelm? So let's start with the first one, which is burnout. Now, this word gets thrown around a lot. And I truthfully, what I think is that we all in society, with all of the millions of things we have going on, are feeling some level of burnout. Because I think it gets reserved for like, you have to hit this like crash and burn. One thing I used to say is that 2019 Laken was headed for a burnout. She probably was already there. She probably was to some extent already there. It just hadn't manifested in some big giant way. And I think that especially nowadays in the time of social media and the internet, you are likely feeling, whether it's information burnout, whether it's actual physical burnout, you're pushing yourself physically too hard, whether it is emotional burnout, right? You're missing some sort of key emotional aspect to your life, a connection, a friendship, a parent relationship, or it's just in general, you are feeling overwhelmed, right? And that is being caused by having way too much on your plate. So all that to say is I think you can say you are feeling burnt out without it being this like big giant explosion. So if that is you, if you are feeling burnt out, first question to ask yourself is, what am I feeling burnt out from? What is it that's causing me to feel that way? And this could be on a daily, like maybe a singular day. Like there have been days that I feel burnt out from, if you're a mom, you know, like being touched out, right? Like it just happened to be a day that my toddler wanted to climb all over me and I was with her all day, and I am burnt out from being touched. And so what do I need to offset that as much as I can? And this literally happened recently, and my solution was I had my husband take her for a walk. And so I could literally just have like a little bit of time to sit and not get touched and just like take a little bit of a break. A break is a great option if it is a more short-term burnout. If it is more of a longer-term burnout, again, what is causing you? Is it information overload? Do you need to cut back on some information? Is it physical? Do you need to incorporate rest? If so, go back to those August videos where we talked all about rest. There are going to be things in this category, and all the categories probably that we talk about here, that are not in your control, right? There are going to be things that are going to make you feel burnt out, that are things that you cannot control. So what you need to focus on is what you can control. What are you feeling burnt out from? How can you take a break from it? How can you incorporate more rest? Again, go back to those videos. That will then help you with that less feeling of overwhelm and that less feeling of lazy. Number 2 on our list is stress. And this is one, again, it's a big giant category, right? Like people talk about stress and feeling stressed and feeling stressed. Okay, you need to get more specific, because the concept of stress, I wish I pulled up the definition. When I do videos like this, I love to look up a definition. So stress can manifest itself in so many different forms from so many different aspects, right? Once again, Is it mental stress? What is that mental stress? Is it the mental load that you're carrying? Is it that you're thinking about something that you need to plan? Is it because you're feeling like you need a mental break, right? How can you take that mental break? Is it physical stress? Do you feel it in your shoulders? Do you feel it in your body? How can you release that stress? One of the books that I referenced a lot in the August videos on rest is a book called Burnout. I don't necessarily love the title. I also think there's concepts to the book that are a little bit, it kind of bounces all over the place and it's a little difficult to follow, but they talk about the concept of physical activity as a actual physical release of stress. Like as humans, as if I recall, it's like a mammal thing. Like we literally sometimes need to physically release stress, and exercise, moving your body, don't even think about it as exercise. Physically moving your body in some way is sometimes the only way that you're gonna get that stress out of your body. It's crazy. But the truth is, when you're feeling stressed, that is all that our bodies can sometimes focus on. And so the ability to do a task and not feel, going back again to the topic of lazy, you're not even gonna start, because all you're focused on, both consciously and subconsciously, is the feeling of stress. So just like we did with burnout, the first question is, what is causing you the most stress? Again, there's probably a lot of things causing you stress. So start at the top. What is causing you the most stress? What's the first thing that pops into your head when I ask you that question? Next question is that in your control or not? If it is not, we have to let it go. If it is not something that you can actually control, all you can control is your reaction to it. And so we have got to let go of the things that are not within our control and not let them take up space in our minds and in our bodies. So then when you get to something that's causing you stress that is within your control, what is one small thing I can do to make this better? I didn't say fix it. I didn't say make it perfect. I didn't say make it go away, but make it better, right? Let's say what's causing you the most stress is the fact that there's I'm looking at, there's 3 piles of clean laundry that I haven't put away behind this camera, but I need to get this filmed because I keep telling myself I can fold that laundry when my toddler's around, and filming videos I can't do when she's around, right? What if I just set a timer for 5 minutes and did some of it, right? And did one basket. Maybe that I'm not gonna get through a whole basket in 5 minutes, but let me just do some. Let me at least separate it between the 3 people in the household, right? So that it goes faster when it does come time for me to fold it. By making it smaller and naming what is actually causing you the most stress right now, that will help you be able to actually start to take action and hopefully release that feeling of laziness. That leads us nicely though into number 3, which is decision fatigue. I didn't look up the data on this, but you've probably heard somebody talk about it before. But as humans, we make some ungodly number of decisions per day. From literally the time that you get out of bed until the time that your head hits the pillow that night, you are making decisions about every little bitty tiny thing, from what to eat, what to wear, what time to leave. There are so many decisions. So yes, in an ideal world, the tip I'm giving you here is to create systems and things and ways for you to eliminate your decision fatigue by making other decisions in advance and not having to worry about those. That is true, but that's not always helpful to hear, because when you're in this moment, right, you're sitting right now, you're watching this video, you are feeling overwhelmed with all the different options of things that you want to do, all the different goals you want to focus on, all the different things that you want to accomplish, whether it's in the next hour, in the next day, week, month, whatever it is. Combined with the fact that all of these decisions, options in front of you are probably big and vague. So the first step to making a decision is, what are you going to prioritize by? Because if you just look at this entire list of options, they all look like the most important. Is the prioritization method needs to be done first, right? Is it timing? Is the prioritization method the amount of time it's gonna take? And you start with the smallest task to get that easy win. You could also start with the biggest task, but I think it's more beneficial to start with the smallest one. Is your prioritization method going to be the desire, the thing you want to do first? You have to name what you're prioritizing by before you can prioritize, because important, it's all important. It's like everything on your list. You wouldn't be on your list if it's not something important, right? If it's not important, go ahead and cross it off. How are you prioritizing? Okay, then based on that prioritization method, what is number 1? And again, you can't tell me it's all number 1. Literally, There is only one thing that the timing is first. There is one thing that's gonna be the shortest amount of time. The one thing that you want to do the most. Then you're gonna make it smaller. What's the 2-minute version of that? How can you make it even smaller just to get the ball rolling? Get yourself started. The key with all of these to not feeling overwhelmed and lazy is just starting, spoiler alert. And we have to find a way to get ourselves up and moving. Okay, the last one here is definitely the most difficult in terms of like a practical tool to get you out of it, because this is all mindset based, and that is fear. Sometimes I totally get this one and relate to this. We are sitting there feeling lazy, like, oh, I'm just sitting on the couch with my phone and I'm not doing anything, as a result of feeling overwhelmed. That's driven by some sort of fear. It could be the fear of doing the wrong thing. It could be the fear of doing it imperfectly. Go back to the section of last week's video where I talked about done is better than perfect. It could be the fear of failure. I've done a whole video on that. My tip is always define what failure is. Is it actually that bad? Probably not. Is it actually that high of a probability? Probably not. Go ahead and do it. Is it the fear of success? I do this all the time. I have a business idea and then it sits on a list and I don't do it. And it's like, I say, oh, I'm being lazy or whatever. And it's really like, I'm afraid, what if it goes really well? What if it really works? Like, why is that something that's holding me back? Maybe it's the fear of judgment, right? Maybe it's the fear of somebody else judging you for whatever it is that you're going to do. I wish I don't think I've ever done a video on this. And I don't know if I ever will, because it's not necessarily a topic I like know a lot about, but we have got to stop caring about what other people think. There is no success in your life and goals and creating a life that you want to live. And that's my ultimate goal for you, is to create a life that you want to live. And I think goals are how you get there if you care about what other people think about your goals. This obstacle of fear is not necessarily something that I'm going to be able to give you like a tip to get through, but to remind you that you're not alone. We all feel those things. And the best way to overcome fear is through action. I love to logic my way through all kinds of things. And I would love to sit here and like logic my way out of a fear of failure or fear of success. But ultimately, I can't. The only thing that's gonna get me through that fear is by actually doing it. And most of the time, the way that I'm gonna actually do it is if I make it a little bit smaller. Sorry, it just keeps coming back to that. Make it smaller, take an action step. When we're feeling overwhelmed, everything feels huge. Even a small step feels huge. And so we have to take a step back, figure out what's holding us back, prioritize what we need to prioritize, and start taking action. So hopefully that was helpful. I feel like I rambled a lot in there. I feel like the outline made way more sense on paper. Once I started talking, I was like, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but hopefully you found this helpful. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, just comment below with a heart emoji, whatever color you pick. I feel like we all just need a little bit of love, self-love from ourselves, love from each other, less judgment, more love. And as always, it is almost a new quarter, which means it is time for a new Goals with Laken planner. If you did not try the 2025 full year version, come grab the Q4 version, give it a try for the last quarter of the year. It's not too late to make the most of this year. Set some goals for Q4, and the quarterly version of the planner this quarter comes with a bonus downloadable to help you prep. It's got 8 questions to help you think about Q4 and how to make the most of it as we wrap up the last quarter of the year. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, it's not even really cold enough to wear this outside, but I just wanted to put on a sweater with, actually, I'm gonna start this whole video over. Let me say that differently. Outcome, that's not what I meant to say. Is the prioritization concept, what do I wanna call this? That was weird.